Blue Lock Chapter 344 has just released. France has retaken the lead as Japan makes changes for their counterattack. Isagi gets a ton of dialogue in this chapter, with him potentially figuring something out as we get the revelation that 15 minutes are left of this game. Which is absolutely crazy to hear. The end of the game is near, folks. It's about to be straight cinema for this climax. So grab your popcorn, get hype, and let's jump into it quick. The chapter picks up right where we left off, with Loki still in the air jumping, the announcer screaming goal, and the France fans going wild in the crowd. They start by saying France has retaken the lead, complimenting the goal as a supernatural phenomenon, as Loki's feet are about to land and he hits his signature Mbappe goal celebration. And finally, Loki gaining back some aura after that first half performance. The pose is tough and no pupils, and he's just staring at us aura farming. Bro really think he Leorio? The score is now 2-3 in France's favor, as the announcers say the divine sprinter Julian Loki is here. And we immediately jump over to Blue Lock's reaction, with Aiku scratching his head saying, "Are you kidding me?" Man, this is just not a good look for Aiku. Bro was grasping for straws in the last chapter. He low-key hasn't done much in this game too, and now he's stressing out, scratching his head. He says, how are they supposed to stop something like that? And Gagamaru jumps in too, pretty much saying he's gotta be a bug, a human cheat code. And yeah, they're also doing my man Gagamaru dirty. He's still the GOAT no matter what, but he's conceded every goal so far, putting up XQC goalkeeper numbers. So hopefully he'll change that soon. Ryo brings up how they finally caught up only to be pulled away in an instant. And Karasu questions what the hell is going on with Loki and Hugo, asking if they're fighting against aliens or something. And really, Loki didn't appear for like every chapter besides the last one, and now he's getting out of this world glaze. Like literally, Karasu comparing it to fighting aliens is crazy to me. But yeah, I think we're cooked because Loki's doing something now. Hugo high-fives Loki, and we see there is 15 minutes left on the clock, which is a huge revelation because that means we're really close to the end of the game. Time be moving differently in Blue Lock. Like in the NEL, the 3-minute timer would last 7 chapters, yet we're almost done with the second half after 5 chapters. And an even bigger revelation is Ego says it's time for a change, as we see Atoya jumping in, with Ego saying shake things up, Atoya. What the hell is even going on? This gotta be the most unexpected sub-in of all time. Atoya of all people is entering the pitch. Now there are either people who think Atoya is straight garbage or people who think Atoya is good. There is no in between. So I feel like this is a pretty controversial sub, but to be fair, with Karasu taking over the team, they're definitely cooking something up with the two of them, because as we know, their dynamic is one of the best we've seen. Jumping back into it though, Atoya just says okay, he'll hit them with aura, and nah, never mind, recall the sub after that line. What is Atoya saying? This are literally those cornball memes, how he felt after saying that joke. More importantly though, the person being subbed out is Mikage Ryo. So sad time for the Ryo fans. Ryo was playing in the same position as Atoya, and I will say he hasn't done too much in this game besides copy Kunigami, and now the actual Kunigami is playing. Anyways, we see Isagi panting with his hands on his knees, commenting on Atoya being subbed in now. We get his inner thoughts on how Ego's intention is clear. Atoya has a ton of combination patterns with Karasu, which means he's signaling the team to switch to Karasu-centered attacks. As Isagi is dialoguing over this, Karasu and Atoya are talking to each other, and we see a look over the field with Hiyori, Barou, Shido, and Ryu. Who invited Ryu? I don't know. He continues to say everyone here understands it, that they're on track to lose if they keep it up, so even if their defense suffers a bit, the only shot at victory is to double down on offense. And as y'all can see, this is gonna be an Isagi yap-heavy chapter, but I like that Blue Lock is doing an offensive formation for these last 15 minutes because it's what they do best. They are a team of strikers at the end of the day, so we gotta fight fire with fire. Granted, I don't know how well Atoya can compete against Barou, Shido, or the Ghost of Rin because he hasn't been appearing. At the bottom of the page though, Isagi, after going Ego's plan, says, but this also means he doesn't expect me to score any points, as he clenches his teeth with puzzle pieces pieces breaking around him. He looks back as well and says it's not just me, it's a Rin too, as we see him gritting his teeth too. And finally, they're addressing the elephant in the room of Rin not showing up. He says right now, both of them are excluded from the Karasu system to turn this around, saying a damn it in frustration. We then see Isagi talking about everything going on in the game, and this panel is literally gorgeous. Isagi in the pitch dark with rippling water on the ground and puzzle pieces breaking around him. It's just too peak. Like I said earlier, he's going over the state of the game, like how the team belongs completely to Karasu, and how he hasn't been able to do a damn thing. He even questions if Ego has abandoned him and what can him and Rin do by themselves. Loki and Hugo are completely on another level. He's not a number one and he can't see a way to win. But even with all of this happening, we see an x-ray of Isagi's heart with him saying even though things are so dire, why is he still so damn excited as he clenches his jersey. We get a close-up of his eyes and he wonders if he's so freaked out that he's going crazy. Not freaked out in that way, but he says no, he felt this way since the start of second half, ever since he realized how incredible Hugo is. He then remembers Hugo's goal from earlier, saying that his blood has been boiling and his mind is racing. Isagi then thinks back on previous players like Kira, Nico, Rin, Nagi, and Kaiser, as he says he's felt this excitement lots of times before. The feeling of finding someone who he wants to defeat. And that's when we see him finally make a realization this match, saying, "Is that it?" As it flashbacks over Kira, Nico, Nagi, and Kaiser, he says whenever he's able to trigger something beyond his own abilities, it's because at those very moments, there was a number one he wanted to surpass. After the Neo Egoist League though, where he ended as the number one, he's been fighting to keep that title, as we see a reflection of him in the bathroom before the game. Isagi then laughs and says of course that's unsuitable, as he stares at Karasu's back and says his talents and mindset aren't suited for being number one, and they ended up in this mess because he was trying to force himself anyways. And this is what we like to hear, Isagi taking accountability, because his performance was bad no matter how hard you can defend him, but now it seems like things are turning around, finally getting rid of his fixation of a number one, which I've been saying in theories for the longest time now. Isagi says Hugo's theory is 99% correct, as we see a close-up of his heart beating. That last 1% though, Hugo has misunderstood his suitability. As Isagi looks forward, he says, "My ego, what gets me fired up?" And Ego comments too, saying, "Don't waver, BLUELOCK, live for your own goals until the end," as the game restarts. Here we go, y'all. The last 15 minutes, Karasu starts with it and passes it to his side, where we see Barou, Shido, and Rin appear. Oh my god, all the strikers here got me hype. Hiyori was the one Karasu passed the ball to, and he comments how this is making him feel tingly. Hey yo, what do you mean by that? But he tells Karasu not to miss it, as Hiyori dribbles past Camus, which is kind of impressive because Batra couldn't get past him, and he gives the ball to Karasu. Karasu shouts for a 1-2, but Bats comes in out of nowhere, slamming into Karasu, and look at that damn impact. They gotta each have a broken bone by now. But Bats calls out how he's the crux, and if he crushes them, they win. So Karasu decides to aura lob and just says sorry, he's just an after image, as he passes the ball to Atoya, saying go on, shadow clone. And Atoya making his debut in the U20 World Cup, the shuriken aura going everywhere too, and he says he's slipping through, baby, as he weaves a defender on the quicks. All bro can do is say whoa for real, and we got him doing the Oliver Aiku, reaching out his hand, and he says watch out for a cross, as another defender tries to run in front of him. All three strikers are waiting for a pass. Shido says here it comes, Rin says come on, and Barou says pass it. But Karasu says no, shoot it, and that's when Atoya makes a hand sign, getting ready for the shots. And I'm hella dead. Bro had to pull out the shadow clone jutsu before his shot, and we see him go for it, but immediately Loki blocks it with Godspeed, teleporting to the goddamn ball. Oh no, folks, our worst fears are coming true. Loki is starting to do something. First, it was the goal, and now he's actually defending. Atoya is stunned, saying so fast, and Loki tells him he seems to be Karasu's auxiliary shadow striker. He's a pain, but if he can see him, he can stop him. Which is low-key a fire line, Loki making up for that aura loss big time. Karasu is ticked off, Hugo just nonchalantly says a nice one, and Hiyori is panicking, saying a second ball because Hugo is coming back. And as we think France is about to take possession again, white-haired Isagi comes in and gets to the ball before Hugo. You can't be serious right now. Oh my god, he's back. Prime Isagi Yoichi is here. It's like seeing an old memory, dog. It's been so long since we've seen the white-haired Isagi. This is just making me smile ear to ear, and this panel is absolutely insane as the puzzle pieces are flying behind him, and we get a close-up view of his eyes as he says, "This was destined, you consulted bastard." Isagi Yoichi, the man you are. This is the one we know and love. He's finally figured something out. He heard all that slander from before and knew he had to have a generational pull-up. What's crazy too is that this even takes Hugo off guard for the first time in this match, as he says Isagi Yoichi, and as Isagi lands with the ball, he says he's not number one, but he's not just second best either. He then reaches out his hand and says he can only shine when he's devouring the best. He is a rebel. You can feel the aura through the screen. So this is where we finally see Isagi doing something. These last 15 minutes are about to be cinema, folks. I can't get over this design as well. The eyes, the hair, the puzzle pieces flying everywhere. Hands down, the best Isagi Yoichi design. Isagi with possession of the ball says utter as it zooms in on his eyes. He finishes his sentence saying suitability as the chapter ends off there. All right, what a chapter, folks. Especially if you're an Isagi fan, this is one of those chapters you're either saying it's peak or you hate it because you hate Isagi. There is so much to talk about, but let's cover the most important aspects of the chapter first. First off, the substitution. Now, Atoya coming in at the last 15 minutes was unexpected, but it was for a good reason, to help in the Karasu system. Now, Atoya isn't bad, but he isn't one of the best players. I think whatever the case is, though, he could be helpful towards an all-out offensive formation. We saw it in this chapter. Atoya was able to dribble through. He'll probably use his off the ball later on as well. It's just unfortunate that Loki was there to block his shot. As for his role for the rest of the match, I don't exactly know if he'll be doing too much, because both Raichi and Corona subbed in at the last 15 minutes too in the Nigeria game, and they had like one play only. So I wouldn't expect more than one play after this chapter coming from Atoya, since the game is ending soon. But we have to talk about it. White hair Isagi is back, baby. He's heard all the slander. He's heard everyone calling him a fraud, and now he pulled off the white hair mode that we saw in PXG, which arguably was his best performance to this day. Not only that, I think this is Isagi's best design in general. Seeing the panels there was just absolutely gorgeous, but let's talk about what this means for him. My first thoughts, of course, I'm hyped to see Isagi start making a comeback, but I'm not gonna jump the gun and immediately say he's gonna score a goal again, because I have this weird feeling that he won't. Isagi will more than likely just have a play where he surpasses Hugo or Karasu, kind of proving their philosophies and analysis about him are wrong, but they'll still lose the game. If I had to make a comparison, think of Isagi in the Manshine game, where he couldn't score because of Kaiser, but his objective was to beat Kaiser and not score. I also don't think we're gonna win this match or even tie the match. I've seen so many people talk about that too and bringing it up. Guys, if we win or tie the match, that would be so disappointing, because why would we win against the quote-unquote best team in the U20 World Cup? Then why would we lose to any other team that's worse than France, as well as it makes the England game obsolete? So I do think France is going to be taking the win here no matter what, and with the game ending soon, I think the things that we need to see is either a last-minute Shido goal or possibly a Rin goal, because Isagi is doing something now, Rin will probably do something too, and of course, Charles and Loki probably scoring the game winner with their chemical reaction too, because we haven't even seen Charles pass yet. So those are the things I think that will happen for the rest of the game. Now let's quickly talk about the next chapter title as well. Chapter 345 is titled True End, which I don't think means the end of the game in this chapter, but if I had to guess, it'd be Isagi either talking to Hugo or Karasu and showing that he's not number 1 or 2. Basically just explaining what he said in this chapter. I'm honestly unsure if this game will end in this volume or if it will continue, so make sure to leave your thoughts down below on what you think, as well as what do you think of Isagi's comeback? Do you think he will score a goal? What's gonna happen in these next few chapters? I'm super excited to see what happens next. This France game has literally been one of the best games so far, but with that being said, thank you so much for watching as always. YouTube really thinks you'd like this video right here, so be sure to check that one out too. I appreciate y'all so much, and I'll see y'all in the next one.